So we have a computer system at our job that generates leads, right, for sales. And as I was talking to my cousin, you know, and we sit pretty close to each other, I went to go sit down, and he goes, "Hey, cousin," he goes, "What was that guy's name that you were telling me about?" I was standing there, walked a couple steps back to my chair, and he asked me that question. I said, his name was Abba Bivins, all right? And he goes, "Cousin, come over here real quick. Look at my screen." And so I walked over there, and I went to look at his screen, and this is what I saw. And that was a middle name, A. Bivins, because it's confidential. I can't show you the whole name. It was a person's name, but this was their middle initial and their last name. All right, so that popped up right as I was talking to my cousin and giving the testimony of Abba Bivins. Right, so when I went back to my desk, I was literally like, I said, "Man, Abba Bivins definitely was Elijah." And it just really builds. We in this truth, we have different things and events that Yahweh does and shows us to build our faith in this truth, And that's how I felt at that moment. And my cousin, who's not in the truth, he literally was, he thought it was supernatural also when he saw that. Because literally, what are the odds that this name is going to pop up, And it was just, it was cool, man, So I just wanted to show that brief testimony. So when I went back to my desk, I was thinking like, man, what are the odds that Abba Bivens, initial and his last name is going to pop up out of all the names and all the leads in that database, for his name to pop up right at that moment while I was talking about him. Okay. So that's the Abba Bivens part. But the part I'm going to do this lesson on is basically saying how there's no free will like Christianity teaches. All right. Everything we do, and I was literally telling him about that. That right as I was telling him about Abba Bivens, I was telling him, hey man, everything that we do is ordained by God. All right. It's literally everything is through the Spirit. Everything that happens has already been written. All right. Yahweh has already ordained everything. Right. So, I was sitting at my desk like thinking like, man, this is so crazy. But hey, it was all ordained by Yahweh, for me to be standing there talking to my cousin about Abba Bivens, and then, literally the name pops up on the screen, So it was ordained by Yahweh. It was nothing else, all right? But let me bring some scriptures out to prove that. So we're going to go to Proverbs 20 and 24. And I learned this verse from the Apostle Gabar. He brings it out a lot. This is Proverbs 20 and 24. It says, "Man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way?" All right. So everything we do, our goings, which means moving forward or carrying out, your goings, wherever you're going, literally is of Yahweh. So that day, Monday, when I was over there at his desk, that was Yahweh's will to have me standing there and explaining the story about Abba Bivens. And it was also the will of Yahweh for the name to pop up on the screen. All right. There's no other force that was in control but Yahweh. All right. So now I'm going to go to, just to further solidify this point, I'm going to go to Psalms 40, and we'll go to 2. And it says, this is the King David speaking about this. "He brought me up also out of the horrible pit, out of the miry clay, and set my feet upon a rock, and established my goings." All right. So Yahweh established the King David's goings. Everywhere he went, everything he did was established by Yahweh. All right. Let's just read number 3. Verse 3, and he hath put a new song in my mouth, even praise unto our power. Many shall see it and fear and shall trust in Yahweh. All right. So just, in just the same fashion, it was a new song, just like we're singing a new song. Nobody's been teaching us, or nobody's been teaching you the Bible in the fashion that the men of Israel are teaching it now, right? It's a new song, right? Because these are the lyrics that the Israelite men are understanding and knowing, all right, and memorizing. We can't be oppressed anymore because we're living in a time where the Bible is actually, we're realizing it's our book, we're realizing it's our heritage, and we're realizing that, hey, we're the only ones who can break down these scriptures, starting out with our elders. All right, and it's all the will of Yahweh. Our goings, the Spirit has been put on the prophets of Israel to, come into this truth, come into remembrance, all right, like the scriptures say. So let me go to, let me go back to that real quick. Psalms 40 and 2 and 3. And then verse 3, it says, the song part. That's what I was just explaining. So we're going to go to Revelation real quick. And we're going to go to 14 and 3. It says, and they sung as it were a new song before the throne and before the 4 beasts and the elders, and no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. All right. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto Yahweh and to the Lamb. And in their mouth was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne of Yahweh. Right? And guile means deception or trickery, So backing up to 3, it's talking about that new song, and only the ones who could learn the lyrics or learn that song was the 144,000 who are the elect men, the prophets. There's 144,000, Lord being, I'm one of them, Lord willing. But the prophets are the only ones who are going to learn this scripture. That's what that verse means. Verse 4, the ones who are not defiled with women. Women, we've talked about before, is a metaphor for doctrines. All right. Doesn't mean we haven't had sex with a woman. It means we did not hearken to the doctrines of the false, prophets, which, mainly here in Babylon are Esau's churches. All right. We were virgins from that. Like, we were exposed to Catholicism and Christianity and whatever else, Jehovah's Witness. We were exposed to those women, but we didn't go all in on that, But when the truth came to us, now we're going in on the truth, right? That's what that verse 4 metaphor represents, all right? The women is doctrines. The men are virgins to those doctrines. And it says here that we follow the Lamb, which is Yahweh Shai, whithersoever he goeth. All right. We were redeemed from among men, and we're going to be redeemed through those chariots. We're going to get salvation. Many people look at it as a joke, but we have our faith into our salvation, being the first fruits unto Yahweh and to the Lamb. And what are the first fruits? Because the prophets were there during the creation, according to the Bible. Verse 5, and in their mouth was found no guile, no deception. All right. Whether we offend you or make you happy or whatever, there's no deception in our ministry. Right. We're coming at you with the truth. And if if we have Israelites who reject this knowledge, our own people. So, but we don't care. We're going to give you it as it is written. If it offends you, so be it, And that's just that's the attitude we have, man. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. All right, and then I'm going to go to Psalms. I'm going to go to 37 and verse 23. And it says, "The steps of a good man are ordered by Yahweh, and he delighteth in his way." All right. So again, showing you that the goings of man is Yahweh's will. And it says right here, the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, by Yahweh. All right. So who orders your steps? Yahweh does. Who ordered my steps to go walk over to that desk and tell my cousin to, about the elders and the prophet Abba Bivins? It was Yahweh that had me there talking to him. And why? Because he was going to give an example. He put Abba Bivins' name on the screen, as a testimony for my cousin, Who knows? I don't know if he's an elect man or not. The elect may be sealed, But Lord willing, he's an elect man too, and he gets his ass out on the street corners and starts teaching, if it manifests in him. But then again, we don't know if the elect have been sealed, The apostles, they have brought that out and said, hey, it's probably already sealed. So, but either way, that, manifested right on his screen, Abba Bivins' name. So let me see. Now I'm going to go to Numbers 33 and 2. It says, "And Moses wrote their goings out according to their journeys by the commandment of Yahweh. And these are their journeys according to their goings out." So even when, Moses was leading the Israelites in the wilderness, the goings were by the commandment of Yahweh. Remember, they were never shown the promised land. At least Moses never saw the promised land because he pissed Yahweh off. Even though he did deliver the people of Yahweh out of Egypt, Moses pissed Yahweh off and never did see the promised land. But who's commanded the goings and the journeys? It was Yahweh. That's what it says right here in verse 33 and 2. All right. And then let's go to Jeremiah 1 and 5, just to show you that, more proof that we don't, it's not our choice. Everything is ordained by Yahweh. All right. So let's read it. Jeremiah 1 and 5. "Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee. And I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations." All right. So before he even formed us in the belly, he knew who we were. Before we came out the womb, he sanctified, meaning he cleansed us, he purified us, "And I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations." So now here in Babylon, America, when we go teach on the streets, we're dealing with every nation, man. This is the great melting pot, is it not? In America, Babylon. So you have all of the nations, and the prophets are speaking to all the nations according to the scriptures, right? And some nations are going to get offended. Some people are going to be, hearken. And they're going to go home and be like, dang, those guys have the truth. And some are even going to be possibly elect, An elect man, that's why we're fishermen, right? So that's Jeremiah 1:5, just showing you that the prophets, it's not something that you woke up and said, oh, I'm going to be a prophet today. No, it's Yahweh that puts that spirit on a man to go out and teach and to be consistent and be diligent. All right. No other way to explain it. Let's go to Proverbs 21 and 2. It says, "Every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but the Lord pondereth the hearts." So that word pondereth means direct. So everything we do is directed by Yahweh. All right. Let me just so you believe me. Because like I said, I'm not good at the blue letter, but I'm going to the camera real quick. Let me see. So here it is. Takan is the word in Hebrew. All right. It says equal, way, pondereth, unequal, directed, miscellaneous. So pondereth means directed. All right. So now when we go to the scripture again, right there, verse 2, every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but the Lord pondereth the hearts or the minds. But the Lord direct the hearts or the minds. Remember, we just read that. Pondereth means direct. So showing you again, the reason why I was at that desk talking to my cousin about Abba Bivins was because Yahweh directed my steps. He directed my mind, my heart. It was all Yahweh, all right? And then lo and behold, Abba Bivins showed up on the screen, It was crazy. Let's see. I'm going to go to Proverbs. Stay in Proverbs and go to 5:21. Let's see what that says. Okay, towards the middle and bottom. For the ways of man are before the eyes of Yahweh, and he pondereth all his goings. So what does that word pondereth mean? Direct. So let's read it that way. And he directed all his goings. All right. So literally, who directs the way we move forward in life? Who directs all of, everything? It's Yahweh. He pondereth all his goings. Don't say some of his goings, So literally that day, Yahweh directed me to that desk, like I keep saying. And it was the will of Yahweh for all of that to manifest. All right. Let's go to Romans real quick. Because I still want to establish how there's no free will, It's all of Yahweh. He's the one who ordains it. He's the one who, carries it out. Let's see, Romans 9, and we'll go verse 11. This is dealing with Jacob and Esau, all right? The babies born in Genesis. Verse 11, for the children not being yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of Yahweh according to the election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. All right. So before the babies, Esau and Jacob, did any good or evil, Yahweh already ordained, he ordained what was going to happen. He gave the blessing to Jacob. And let's just keep reading because this is a beautiful chapter. It was said unto, verse 12, it was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. Verse 13, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. All right. So we know that Yahweh loves Jacob and the Israelites, and we know that he hates Esau and the Edomites. All right, for the oppression that they put on the Israelites. But it says in verse 11, before they were even born, before they did any good or evil, so that the purpose of Yahweh's election, or his people who he's chosen, that's what election means, chosen, might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. All right. So who directs your ways? Who directs your steps? Who directs your goings? It's Yahweh. All right. And who ordains it? It's Yahweh. All right. So there's no free will. If if this truth means something to you and you value it, then that means Yahweh gave you that faith. If you're just an atheist and you don't believe the Bible, well, guess what? Yahweh made you that way. All right. So he made you that way. Let's go to Isaiah. 45 and 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. All right. So he made peace and he created evil. Balance. He made Jacob. He made Esau. Balance. All right. He made the light and he created the darkness. Balance. The verse 7, is where I'm at. So he did all those things, right? He's even the one who directs our steps and our goings, like I've been bringing out. And he's ordained it all. It's all preordained, So you can't, like I say, you can't wake up one day and say, oh, I'm going to be a prophet. It's got to be ordained, You can't, everything that, everything that manifests on planet Earth is all the will of Yahweh. No other, way around it. Brought out several verses to show you that. And, like I said, the whole reason I was explaining Abba Bivins to my cousin was because that was Yahweh manifesting and ordaining that event to happen, And who knows, maybe it was to build my cousin's faith. I mean, I know it built my faith, but it's all the will of Yahweh, But with that, I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, HaRakakodash. I want to give double honors to the other apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth. And also want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing this truth with sincerity. Salutations and shalom to the elect.